Otherworldly glimpses seem to have become the new normal. Be it creatures from myths or cryptids that are so beyond the imagination,
Look at that. Did you see it?
you'll be left questioning reality. Our cameras have captured it all, so buckle up as we take a look at footage that doesn't have any explanation.
Oh my God! What the?
Believed to be the most haunted place in America, the Gettysburg Civil War battle site in Pennsylvania has always been a site for haunting presence. However, things became serious when a guy driving down the area recorded this. It looked like a couple of ghostly apparitions came running down towards the wheel carts, and then suddenly disappeared, just like they had appeared. As the place had seen a ton of casualties in the 3-day battle, people thought these ghostly figures might be the unrested souls of those soldiers. Ghostly play. While reviewing his home security camera, this homeowner found something that left him absolutely shocked. He saw that his dog seemed to be playing with another dog, but he only had one dog, and his backyard was completely secure, leaving no way for another dog to enter his house. And the other dog looked like a pale, misty apparition, similar to a ghost. Seeing the bizarre sight, the guy went out to check, but the mysterious dog was already gone. Was the dog really playing with some unseen entity, or something else was at play? For now, its identity has remained elusive. Bigfoot. A walk in the woods can always take a strange turn, like it did for this guy. While enjoying his stroll through the Idaho woods, he spotted something that made him stand still and record. A giant appeared out of nowhere and seemed to walk toward the other side. Let's take a look again. A giant furry body, bipedal like a human, but features similar to a gorilla. Could this be the elusive Bigfoot? Just seeing the figure in his vicinity, the guy decided it was time to leave and ran out of the woods, cutting his trip short, never to look back. Beastly pet. I don't know if it's actually a good idea to cozy up to something that looks like that. Even with those chains wrapped around it, who knows what would happen if it went berserk. The creature looked like a mix of a dog, a pig, and a dinosaur, which was on steroids. And the way it looked at all those people, I'm telling you, I do not like them at all. The person who posted the clip claimed that the creature was the result of a secret lab experiment in China, but skeptics aren't convinced. The real deal? Or an elaborate hoax? What do you think? Mysterious cryptid. A strange rumor was going around in the Santa Fe province of Argentina of a mythical creature prowling the streets at night. Many brushed it off as baseless, but then somebody managed to record this video, confirming the rumor. A dark cryptid was sitting among the trees. Due to the blurry video, not much can be said about its nature. Many believed it was a chupacabra, arguing that the cattle from the area had been mysteriously vanishing. Others speculated that it could be a werewolf, saying they had seemed similar beings. But I'll leave it up to you to decide. Hide and seek. I'm starting to believe that forests are either haunted or a hideout for otherworldly entities, or both. And this video might just confirm that for you. A man was out in the woods with his horse in broad daylight when you least expect anything strange. But there it was, a bizarre entity peeking from behind a tree. Due to the blurry video, it's hard to see, but a close-up would tell you it's gray. The typical aliens portrayed in movies. And before you go on your high horses calling this a hoax, see how even the horse noticed the eerie presence. Fairies. Looks like fairies are more than just stories and myths. Recently, clips have been going around online, leaving people to speculate that they might be real. Have a look at what this guy found on his home security camera footage. A bright flying figure unaware of the recording lens was captured. And that's not all. Another clip featured a similar tiny figure flying across the frame in a room. Real sightings of just a hoax to play the netizens. Let me know what you think of these unexplainable sightings. Blinking orb.
There's the moon. And we have no idea what the heck this is.
A guy visiting Brighton, Ontario witnessed a view out of this world. The night sky had set the stage for this bright yellow orb shining against the dark night sky. The light blinked, casting a long shadow on the water surface. Initially, he thought it might be the moon, but the moon was on the left side of the frame, hidden behind the clouds. So what could it be? An extraterrestrial object, a second moon, or just a star that decided to shine a whole lot brighter that night? Let me know your guess in the comments.
Does anyone know what this is?
Quadrupedal. Now let's take a look at what this guy saw when he looked out his apartment window. A creature that stood eerily still in the middle of the road, although it was standing on all fours. The second half of its body was strangely humanoid, and did you notice? It doesn't seem to have any facial features. The guy quietly took the footage and asked the internet for help. Netizens speculated that it might be a chupacabra out on the hunt. Some even suggested it could be a creature from another dimension stuck in our realm. What's your take on this? Cosmic cadaver. You never know when a hike in the woods would take an otherworldly turn, because who knows what strange things are hiding behind that thick cover of trees and bushes. For this hiker, it turned out to be a corpse of what looked like an alien. It was found rotting under fallen trees, with its body still intact from the disturbed area around it. It seemed like the creature had met its end in a clash, whether with an animal or perhaps one of its own kind. Hilltop Giants. In Brazil's Ilha do Mel, a family hike took a wild turn when they experienced just that. They saw two giant figures standing on a hilltop, out of reach. Eyewitnesses described them as fast-moving shadows, towering over 10 feet tall. The figures moved with a speed that gave chills. It was impossible to climb up or communicate with them. Were they aliens? Giants? No one knows. But one thing was clear enough. The family was spooked, but couldn't tear their eyes away. So, watch the skies. You never know what's out there. Fairy sighting.
There it is. Look at that. Did you see it?
A security camera in Los Angeles recorded an otherworldly sight. While reviewing the footage, a guy found this strangely glowing humanoid figure flying across the frame. Not able to believe his own eyes, he posted the clip online and asked the internet for help, and netizens jumped to conclusions, where some said it was definitely a fairy sighting. A mythical legend came to life. Skeptics dismissed it, saying it was probably just a moth captured at a certain angle. But then, what about its glowing figure? Since no one has been able to tell what that flying thing really was, it remained a mystery.
Now tell me that's not a fairy. Tell me, you see the two legs? Tell me that's not a fairy.
Ominous reminder. This man had no idea that his midnight stroll would lead to a terrifying encounter when he spotted a strange figure on top of a rooftop. Stopping short, he started recording the humanoid silhouette, which kept standing as still as a statue, as if watching the guy. He later posted the bizarre video online, wondering if anyone knew what it was. Netizens speculated that it might be a ghost or a spirit. Others were convinced it was the Grim Reaper. Skeptics, however, suggested that it might actually be a statue or an object that looked strange. Protective Bigfoot. Every time a Bigfoot sighting surfaces, many people dismiss it as a gorilla or some other ape. But when this clip emerged online, people thought there might be some truth to all the Bigfoot conspiracy. The footage featured a Bigfoot walking behind the giant stones. As it noticed the camera, it rushed back and emerged again, this time carrying its little one. The parent Bigfoot probably felt threatened by the cameraman and wanted to keep its baby safe. The guy was sure the duo was taking refuge in the cave. As the clip went viral online and people flocked to the cave to take a look for themselves, they didn't find anything. Now Bigfoot enthusiasts think the protective cryptid probably left the place, while others think the whole footage was a hoax. Let me know what you think. Club of Crap.
Here we have one of the weirdest insects in the rainforest, a tortoise beetle larva.
Don't be fooled by the size of this tiny critter, as it's got quite a gross surprise up its sleeve. This little one you see on screen is actually a tortoise beetle, and that bushy part isn't just its tail, but a full-blown survival kit. The beetle covers its tail with its own fecal matter, and this offensive act is enough to keep any predator off their back. When they feel threatened, they raise their poop-covered tails, and they're good to go alive. Hospital sighting. Although hospitals have a fair share of unexplained haunted activity, but what if you witnessed something like this on your next visit? Well, this happened to these guys while they were visiting someone in a hospital in Japan. Sitting near the patient and recording the moment on camera, the lens unexpectedly captured a bizarre movement in the corner, really close to the patient's bed. It wasn't until later, when they were reviewing the footage, they saw the bizarre face. As the patient seemed to have felt nothing during her stay at the hospital, everyone thought it was probably the harmless spirit of a patient that might have passed away in the hospital. Mystery footprint. This clip circulating online has left many stumped. A woman posted this online saying she's been noticing this strange footprint appear on her glass window. Well, it doesn't sound unusual at first, but the window is about 20 feet above the ground, and the footprint seemed to belong to a child, and it pointed downward. The question was how it appeared there. As if all this wasn't enough, when the woman tried to wipe it off, it reappeared after a while, making it all the more scary. Could it be some unknown entity leaving the footprint trying to make its presence known? Or the family was in for something far more haunting? Farm entity. A Brazilian farmer, while digging around in his farm, found this otherworldly cryptid. The dug-up ground featured this giant octopus-like entity, with its giant tentacles swirling around like it could strangle anything that came close to it. Not wanting to end up in a life-threatening situation, the guy decided to leave the giant octopus where it was, and it was gone after a while. Netizens speculated it might be the Kraken sea monster that unwittingly ended up on this poor guy's farm. Sighting in the wild. Driving down a secluded forest, this guy spotted a very strange scene. He was able to capture this bizarre-looking creature running down the path. A pale brownish head with a black furry body. It seemed to be carrying the carcass of some animal in its mouth. The guy who recorded the footage thought it was a shape-shifting creature, while online folks suggested it was a hyena carrying its dinner. People were skeptical if otherworldly creatures were out hunting in the dark night. Appalachian creeper. While trekking through the Appalachian Mountains, a hiker came across a very strange sight. Hiding behind a tree, he saw a small creature sitting eerily still. It would have gone unnoticed, if not for its huge black eyes. The guy thought he was seeing a juvenile skinwalker and ran for the hills. However, online speculation suggested something else. The great Potu bird, but the fact that they are not found in the Appalachia made the possibility unlikely. Grim Reaper. While on a road trip, driving down a remote road and seeing a figure in a black hooded cloak is the last thing anyone would want to see. However, this group encountered the exact same thing. While driving past a cemetery in Albuquerque, they noticed this scary presence. It's hard to tell if it's hovering or standing on the ground. Still, it seemed really tall. The group thought it might be the Grim Reaper visiting the cemetery. Hearing takes of these entities is one thing, but seeing one with your own eyes will definitely give you one heck of a scare. But there's no telling if the sighting was even real or not, as many have questioned its authenticity. Rootlike creature. This woman stumbled upon something truly bizarre. Deep in a cave, she discovered a strange creature. Its body resembled a root, but it had a human-like face and limbs. Am I the only one thinking it looks eerily similar to Groot from the Marvel comics? But it only gets weirder. The woman actually filmed herself cooking and eating it. What in the world is going on? Nobody seemed to know what this thing was. If you have any ideas or guesses, drop them in the comments below. Sky phenomenon. A couple of weeks ago, the sky over Vietnam featured a bizarre sight. In the heavens above, there was a giant, bright blue circle with a bunch of straight white lights passing under it. The guy had to stop and see what's going on. How do you even make sense of something like this? Extraterrestrial invasion, military aircrafts on a drill, or something we've yet to make sense of? The site has left a long trail of questions, with no plausible answers in sight. Gate stuckies. When the homeowner of this house wanted to get in, he saw these strange-looking creatures stuck to the doorframe, crawling and having no idea what these he recorded and posted the clip online. Now online, folks had a lot to say. Some thought these were undiscovered creatures, while others had some wilder outlook, saying these were spy objects left on Earth by aliens to keep an eye on us. But as no one was able to tell for sure what these were, these creepy crawlies have remained an unsolved mystery. Flying Dino. This clip has been making rounds on the internet, and no one knows what they just saw. A massive creature with a wingspan as huge as an SUV. The flyer even had a tail that eerily looked similar to a dinosaur. The cryptid flew from one side of the frame to the other. Could it be a dinosaur flying freely in the sky, trying to tell that they are back? Or was it just a prank? Although many have dismissed the clip as such, cryptid enthusiasts still think there's a chance that it's real. Slithery swimmer. Visiting places for the first time can end up in a lot of different ways. Have a look at what this guy saw when he was near the sea in Southeast Asia. From a distance, his camera caught sight of this odd-looking creature, pale, slithery, and its face like a snake out of water. It's sudden. I ducked back into the water, and it swam away, but not before showing off its bizarre fish-like tail. A snakefish, or some other underwater creature we have yet to discover. I'll let you be the judge of that. Sneaking in. A family was left terrified when their security camera captured something unbelievable in their vacation home. Hairy and monkey-like, the creature had somehow found its way to the balcony and was recorded entering the house. And if it weren't for its bipedal nature, it could have easily been an ape, but it walked upright like a human, and from its gait, we can say it meant business. Netizens believed it was the very first clear footage of the legendary Bigfoot, but what had it been doing in the house? It seems like empty buildings in the woods would be the perfect place for these beasts to hide. Colossal human. Seems like giant human beings are no longer myths, as more and more of them are being spotted around the world. And while most of them are just shadows or silhouettes, this one was clear as day and looked like an ordinary man, only too big to be called normal. Hikers on São Tomé das Letras quickly grabbed their phones to record when they spotted this giant towering over the trees. The locals were convinced that this person was a giant, finally out of its hideout. However, some thought it was the particular camera angle that created the illusion. But what do you think? Invisible patient. Either this guy took the whole imaginary friends thing too seriously, or he can actually see ghosts. A hospital security camera captured an unsettling activity as the automatic doors slid open to welcome someone or something we can't see. Instead of being puzzled, the security guard got his clipboard to register the invisible guest, and even appeared to be talking. then got a wheelchair, proceeding to take his imaginary friend inside. Many believe the clip was authentic, claiming hospitals are filled with restless spirits. Others, however, think it was elaborately staged. Peekaboo. This guy had no idea he'd end up in a horror movie when he woke up, but soon things started getting eerie around his house. Flickering lights, doors closing by themselves, malfunctioning electronics. Panicking, he went outside to call his girlfriend and came back in to find his kitchen in complete disarray. And that's when he noticed it. A haunting, upside-down face peering into the living room, making the guy rush out of his house. And if I were him, I would have never returned. Birthday tears. A woman woke up to human-like wailing noises. She didn't have any children and lived alone after her husband passed away last year. Panicking, she went upstairs and found her dog crying, looking up at the pictures of her husband. She reported that today was her husband's birthday. Who had brought up their dog? Who would have ever thought animals experienced grief just like we do? The video left many on the internet tearful and in awe of the love the dog had for its master. Iktheer. A man walking through the woods encountered something straight out of mythology. It was a stag standing at some distance, but it wasn't normal. Smoke came out of his ears as he puffed in anger. Could it be a fire-breathing stag? If so, I hope the man got out of there fast, because the animal didn't look friendly. Netizens started cooking up wild theories as soon as the video went viral. Many suggested that it might be a real-life Iktheer, a magical stag in Norse mythology. Skeptics, however, argued that it might be cold in the region, making the animal's breath appear foggy. But let me know your take on this one. Blue cat. A bizarre video emerged on the internet that has got everyone talking. It featured a blue cat. From its fur down to its paws, everything was blue, even its tongue. People could hardly believe their eyes. While the cat has become a worldwide sensation, some people were having doubts about the clip's authenticity, claiming the video had been manipulated. And in today's day and age of advanced tech, you can't blame them for skepticism. Others, however, were convinced, saying that it was a rare condition. Toothy octopus. I don't know about the Loch Ness, but we might have found the Kraken, a mythological sea cephalopod-like monster preying upon ships passing between Norway and Iceland. Going to the beach seems like a peaceful activity until you see something like this haunting its sand. It looked like an octopus with vicious teeth and even appeared to change shape. The terrified beachgoer had no idea what it was and posted it online, leading netizens to speculate. Many suggested that it could be a baby kraken. Others remained doubtful, calling it a hoax. Extraterrestrial bug. It was a routine day for the hospital staff when they saw this bizarre insect lurking in one corner of a room. It looked like nothing in this world. Bulging body and several spindly legs attached to the walls. Even its movements were alien. I mean, what was it even doing? Many believed it was a new species of bugs, while others were genuinely freaked out, commenting that burning the building wouldn't be such a bad idea. Skeptics remained doubtful, calling it a CGI trick. If that's true, whoever made it put a lot of work into it. Sentient mushrooms. The last time I checked, plants were inanimate. That is until this bizarre video surfaced, leaving even experts speechless. At first, they just appeared to be regular mushrooms, but as someone poked them with a stick, they moved. Many pointed to Chernobyl, saying it looked like a chemical reaction causing the plants to become animated. Others thought it was a secret scientific experiment. A few believed it wasn't even plants and some other organisms. If you have any insights on this, do let me know in the comments. Mysterious stick. An Indian man might have discovered the most bizarre stick. Apart from being twisted, it looks quite ordinary. But wait till you see what it does when put into the water. It started moving rapidly, as if it had come alive. Many thought this stick was actually a zombie snake. And there's more. It even moved upward along the stream of water from an open tap. The video has captured the attention of people worldwide, with some believing it was a magical branch, while others thought it moved like that due to its unique design. Swamp creature. A strange video making rounds on the internet has left everyone terrified. The creature moved swiftly on the ground, as if it was swimming in the water. It had peculiar snake-like movements. The uploader claimed he had spotted it near a swamp, and might have emerged from there. People thought it was some giant snake hybrid. For years we have imagined all kinds of monsters. Could it be that an actual swamp monster has finally surfaced? Well, it seems like that's not the case, as someone pointed out that it was actually just a croc without its front legs, forcing it to move like that. Floating fireball. It seems like someone has finally managed to capture real-life Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle on tape. The bizarre ball of light appeared to be floating across the sky. The whole thing looked like the scene out of a sci-fi movie. Some suggested that it could be a glowing UFO, while others were convinced it was a spirit drifting by. Skeptics, however, argue that it was just a flare caused by a natural phenomenon. But without any official word on the sighting, nothing can be said about it.
What is that?
Peking Bigfoot. A hunter's expedition into the woods took a mythical turn when he spotted some big footprints in the mud. He planned to keep watch at the place and got a shocking surprise when he saw this giant peeking at him through the trees. Thick, shaggy hair and an ape-like face, the entity boasted a towering stature, leaving the man convinced he had seen a Bigfoot. As he posted the video online, cryptozoologists went crazy over it, calling it one of the clearest Bigfoot sightings ever caught on camera. Skeptics believed it was a human donning a suit, performing an elaborate prank. Let me know your take on this. Stalking the woods. If you're still debating whether the Bigfoot legend is real or not, take a look at this fascinating video. A hiker out in the woods was enjoying the scenery when he spotted a giant creature stalking the place. Covered in thick brown fur with ape-like features, the entity walked on its legs, unlike a typical cryptid. Netizens were certain that it was a Bigfoot, but due to the potato quality of the clip, some were not convinced, calling the whole thing staged. Bahia horned beast. This bizarre photo of a humanoid was captured by a teen in Brazil back in 2007 and has remained a mystery to this day. People have come up with many theories about the creature, now called the Bahia horned beast. Some believed it was a man-eating devil that is still out there in the woods. Others thought it was a swamp monster. But its identity aside, many were puzzled, wondering if that was an infant it was holding in its arms. Skeptics brushed off the terrifying image, calling it a hoax. But what do you think? Could it actually be proof that something else is out there? Demonic shadow. A group of friends out in the wild were enjoying the serene nature when one of the guys captured a scene that left them thoroughly unsettled. As the woman was walking into the long bushes, suddenly a black, smoke-like figure appeared and followed the woman, and it looked like it entered her body. The guy thought it was some demonic entity among them, as woods are known to house such creepy entities. Do you think the woman was possessed by something, or was it just a glitch caught on camera? Bizarre cryptid. After hearing strange voices coming from a park, a few officials went to take a look. They found an opening beneath a rock, and while they were inspecting it, a strange cryptid appeared on the other side, lashing out in anger. The witnesses reported that they had no idea what it was, claiming they had never seen anything like it before. People believe it was a new species that dwelled underground, while others argued that it might be a chupacabra hiding there to prey on innocent people. But the case became even more mysterious as the creature vanished. This picture of a dragon flying over a residential area going around online was captured when a Filipino guy found this creature flying right outside his window. After seeing unusual commotion outside, he found this giant dragon flying in the sky, like it was out on its routine flight. Capturing the moment, he showed it to everyone online, and many people chalked it up to a hoax. But seeing the way its wings flapped and it turned, it looked pretty real. Locals even thought a creature from the legends had been sighted. Real or not, it surely created a buzz online. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.